Just wait. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So my name is Muhammad Faisal. I'm one of the chief examiners at Nafi. Today the date is 29th of May 2025. The time is 10:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my side of the world, as we call it, the New York Standard Time. Um, we have Sharjeel, Muhammad Sharjeel Hayat, who is going for his level 6 diploma, level 6 exam. The examination is, the topic is pretty like wide. Cross cloud AI powered disaster recovery and resilience strategies for financial services on AWS and Azure. Right. I do understand you are 16 years of age. The topic is something that normally, if you see a person who has 5 years of experience in industry in cloud computing and AI, would be able to answer the questions. So you can see exam is tough, right? We want to make sure that you are ready for the real world, right? That is the whole purpose. That's the whole goal, inshallah. If you complete this, and may Allah give you success in this thing, uh, I would be really proud of you, right? So relax, uh, you know, show me your game face. What's your game face? Is that your game face? Okay, that's a good game face. Okay. All right. So inshallah, be relaxed, be calm, be composed. Exam is going to be very simple. It is going to cover all the topics that you are going to go through. Uh, there are two or three objectives as per your topic. You have to design a cross-cloud disaster recovery solution with AI-powered automation and real-time failover, ensure high availability and resilience for critical financial services applications, and use AI to predict potential failures and optimize disaster recovery processes, right? Uh, there are different key areas of interest, key areas of focus. One is DevOps, SysOps, AI, cybersecurity, GRC, and cloud security. That's these 5 areas combined becomes AI ops, right? The examination format is the same as we go through every time. You will go through you will be given minimum 15 minutes, maximum 25 minutes to present your topic. After that, we will go into a Q&A session. Okay? Are you ready? Oh, I'm a bit under the weather. I'm recovering. Yesterday was not so good. Today, alhamdulillah, but it was good, alhamdulillah. But alhamdulillah, today I'm way better. It's just like my sinuses are blocked. The good indication is like I don't have a tissue box in front of me, which is a good sign because I already cleaned up all of my sinuses anyway. Okay. All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You can share your screen so that I can start the timer. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
It's visible to you.
Yes, it is. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Please start.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammad Sharjeel Hayat. I'm the student of Diploma in Artificial Intelligence Operation, Hardware Biotics. Before I start, I would like to thank Allah team and especially Sir Muhammad Faisal. Even few months ago, I was not even aware of any technical terms. But Sir Faisal's video inspired me and motivated me to believe that I can also do it. Today, I'm able to talk about automation, cybersecurity, AI models, and it's truly feel like dream come true. Now let's move to our topic. Today, I will talk about AI-powered cross-cloud disaster recovery and resilience strategy, AWS plus Azure for financial service. Let's begin by understanding the problem. Disaster recovery is extremely critical for financial services because these systems hold sensitive customer data and must be available 24 by 7 hours. A small mistake or downtime can break customer trust. That's why disaster recovery is so important. It helps keep the services running even during problems. Next, we have regulatory pressures. Financial companies are under a lot of pressure about this regulation. Rules like GDPR, which focus on keep personal data safe, and PSD2, which ensures secure online payment. To meet these rules and avoid service interruption, they need strong backup system. This helps protect data and keep their services running smoothly even during technical issues or system failure. Now there are also serious risks. Cyber attacks are growing every day, trying to steal or damage data. Hardware can suddenly stop working, leading to unexpected downtime. And when service go down, it directly affects the business. Customer gets frustrated and may leave. To handle recommend approach to handle all these challenges, I recommend an AI-powered disaster recovery plan. This plan is designed to work across multiple clouds like AWS and Azure. Using both platforms together give us stronger resilience, meaning if one cloud fails, the other one keeps running. This way, we avoid a single point of failure, which is very important in financial services where downtime can cost a lot. Predictive AI play a big role in this setup. It constantly monitors the system, study pattern, and predict when something might go wrong, like server slowing down or a network is starting. When AI detects a possible problem, it can automatically take action to fix it before it causes any major disruption. Redundancy and failover. If potential risk is identified, uh, the system does not wait for human help. It automatically switches operation to backup system quickly and smoothly, keeping services available without long delay. Overall, this AI-powered approach makes disaster recovery faster, smarter, and more reliable, helping financial institutions stay safe, compliant, and ready. Next is architecture diagram. So now let's take a quick look at this architecture diagram to understand how everything connects. First on the left side, we have security and compliance. PSD2 and PSD2, GDPR and PSD2 compliance. This means we follow strict rules about we handle people private information like name, credit card to keep it safe and legal. Identity and access management cross cloud. This is about making sure only the right person have the key, password and permissions to access our system. End-to-end encryption. We implement end-to-end encryption in transit and at rest. In AWS session, Terraform automate the entire infrastructure. Instead of building everything manually, uh, we can create this infrastructure using simple code file. And Terraform build all cloud services for that build all cloud services resources for us automatically. Next is Azure Elastic Cloud Computing. Then there are actually virtual machines that run our critical applications. And Amazon S3 storage, this is like a giant super digital warehouse where we store our file, image, and data. AWS backup, this automatically make copies of our important data. If something gets deleted or broken, we can recover this. We can recover this from AWS backup. Route 53 manage DNS traffic while while CloudWatch monitor the system 24/7 hours. On your side, just like in Amazon Terraform, just like in Amazon, we use automated blueprints here to set up the backup computer. And your Active Directory manage the manage secure access to system during recovery, ensuring only authorized user can access critical resources even during failover. Virtual machine run our parallel application. Your block storage, this is the Microsoft version of giant digital warehouse for storing copies of our data and backups. Your site recovery, this is really important to me. It helps us copy our main system from Amazon to Azure can quickly switch everything to run on the Azure computer if our Amazon go down. Finally, on the right side, we have our predictive analytic engine. It optimizes RTO, RPO, recovery time objective, and recovery point objective. Detect failure early before they become bigger issues, and automatically trigger failover if needed service running smoothly. So overall, this architecture build a very strong, resilient, and smart disaster recovery solution. Next is automation and monitoring. Now let's say the first is Terraform. Terraform is an infrastructure as tool. It allows us to define and manage cloud resources using simple code file. Instead of setting up storage, server, and network manually, which can be slow and error prone. Terraform automate the entire process. This means we can quickly create, update, or destroy cloud environment those AWS and Azure with consistency and speed. This help us version control our infrastructure, make it easier to track change and roll back if needed. Next is monitoring and alerting. We also heavily rely on real-time monitoring and alerting. Both AWS CloudWatch and Azure Monitor are used to constantly check the health of system, database, and network. If any unusual behavior is detected, like CPU usage, network latency, or disk error, an alert is triggered instant. This allows our team or automated system to respond before small issues become big issues. Together, these tools, Terraform and real-time monitoring, create a foundation that is not only smart and automated, but also consistent, scalable, and highly resilient. AI integration solution. This is where the power of AI really shines. AI engines using services like AWS SageMaker and Azure Machine Learning to analyze data in real time to detect early signs of trouble, such as slowing server, rising error rates, or unusual traffic spikes. A proactive system catch problem early on, helping to avoid long period of downtime. When we find an issue right away, we can fix them faster, keep everything running smoothly, and ensuring the system stay reliable and efficient. At the same time, AI optimizes both RTO and RPO, recovery time objective and recovery point objective, ensuring that services recover as quickly as possible with minimal data. If automated failover process, if a potential risk is identified, the process moves to failover invitation. Here, AI trigger an automated failover using solutions like AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery or Azure Site Recovery, smoothly shifting workload from a failing system to a healthy backup without human intervention. This automatic process keeps everything running smoothly during failure and preventing disruption and maintaining uptime without any manual intervention. Next is AI power cross cloud disaster recovery flow. Now, this flow chart show how the system works behind the scene. We start with real-time monitoring. The system keeps watching log and metrics from both AWS and Azure. If AI does not detect any issue, it simply continues monitoring. But if problem is detected like unusual traffic behavior or system lag, uh, like system lag, or like system lag without needing any like system lag, if it automatically trigger failover, switching services between AWS and Azure without needing any manual action. Next, the system sync and latest backup and resources service and restore services to get everything running smoothly again. And finally, once everything is back, the process ends. Sorry. In short, AI remove guesswork, speed up recovery, and ensure service stay online with minimal effort. Next, security and compliance. Security and compliance are also in financial services. Without them, we can't ensure data protection or trust. I am across cloud. IAM across clouds. We use IAM identity and access management on AWS and Azure to carefully control who can access to which resources. This helps keep everything secure by limiting access only to authorized users. Encryption practices. We also use strong encryption to protect data both when it's stored on server and while it's being sent across network. It ensures even if someone tries to intercept the data, they won't be able to read. GDPR and PSD2 compliance. GDPR and PSD2 are important rules that help protect customer data, especially in financial sector. GDPR stands for General Data Protection and Regulation. It makes sure people's personal data is handled safely and with their permissions. PSD2 is a rule for for online banking. It allows secure payment and give customer more control over their banking data. By following this rule, by following these rules, we keep customer data safe, avoiding legal problems, and most importantly, we build trust. And most importantly, we build trust with our users. Backup strategies to keep our data safe, services running all the time. I'm using two tools, AWS Backup and Azure Site Recovery. AWS Backup is used to automatically save copies of our data and system in the AWS cloud. If something go wrong, we can store the data quickly. Your site recovery help us to keep backup copies of our system on Microsoft Azure. If there is there failure or crash, we can switch to Azure and keep working with very little downtime. By using both together, we are not depending on just one cloud provider. If one fails, the other one is ready. This makes our backup system stronger, safer, and help us continue our work without big problems. Testing and synchronization. We also make it point to test our backup regularly because we need to ensure everything is working expected and that data is always in sync. Testing help us identify any potential issue before they cause problems. In financial services, resilience means being able to recover quickly from any disruption, and resilience starts with trust. Trust is built on security, and security is built on the right tool and process. Now, next is benefit and challenges. Now let's talk about the benefits. Speed. Recovery is quickly, which means we can get back to work faster and reduce downtime. Uptime with system always available, thanks to backup, there are minimal disruption. Cost efficiency by using resources smartly, we save money while maintaining high performance. Challenges. Latency, sometimes it takes time for data to transfer between different cloud systems, which can slow down things. Cost setting up and maintaining a multi-cloud system can be costly, especially when scaling up. Data consistency, it's important that our data stay the same across our platform, and making sure it consistent is key. Consistent is key to avoiding mistakes. In short, while disaster recovery offer a lot of advantages, we also need to be mindful of these challenges to ensure smooth operation. Conclusion. Our disaster recovery strategy follow a clear path. First, we set clear goal and plan carefully. Then we test the system without small pilot. Once it works well, we roll it out across the organization. After that, we keep improving through regular monitoring and updates. With the power of AI, automation, and multi-cloud approach, using AWS and Azure, we build a disaster recovery system that is not only fast reliable, secure, and fully ready for the future. This is the end of my presentation. Jazakallah.
Okay. So, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So, can you stop the sharing of the screen, please? Okay. So, I'm going to ask you some of the questions before we even start the interview. What does financial services really means?
Financial services, really?
What does it mean?
Financial services. Can you repeat this question?
Sorry, what?
Can you repeat this question?
Yes. What does financial services mean?
Financial services mean that manage money, like insurance company and banking system. You can see.
Yes. Okay. You're 16 years old, right? If you ask the same question in the West and ask them, what does financial services really mean? They won't be able to answer this question. So this highlights the value of what you have learned so far, right? When did you started learning the course? When did you start it?
I think April 2024.
So you started in April. At that time, you were 15 years old?
Yes.
Okay. And now today is May, almost 1 year and 1 month, and you are 16, right?
Yes, right.
Your date of birth is somewhere in the Q1 of the year, right? Like, is it January, February, March? What is the month year? What is it?
May.
May. Okay. Okay. So let's jump in. So what are the main regulatory frameworks mentioned in the presentation that govern the financial disaster recovery practices?
Example, GDPR and PSD2,
Okay.
PCI DSS.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You just covered both the two of them. Now, let me ask you, what does PSD2 really does?
PSD2 is a European regulation. Is a European regulation law that aims secure online payment.
Okay. So it's primarily designed for basically secure online payments, right?
Yes.
Online payments can be through bank, through credit cards, all of those things, right? So if you have to do a comparison, what does PSD2 focuses more on as compared to PCI DSS?
Yes.
If you have to do a comparison, so this is my right hand, PSD2, this is my left hand, PCI DSS, right? What's the difference between both of them?
PCI DSS means secure payment. It is PSD2 aims secure online payment, and PCI DSS ensure secure secure credit card payment.
MashaAllah, good. It was a tough question, you know. So if I have to do an apples to apples comparison, right?
Right.
The SCA, which is part of the PSD2, strong customer authentication, right? What does it require? It requires
So,
merchants to do what?
can you make it easy for me?
Yeah, okay. For customer authentication, right? When you're trying to log on to the bank, what does PSD2 emphasize most on?
PSD2 implies strong customer authentication, secure APIs, and monitoring.
But like how do you establish stronger authentication?
I established strong authentication by using strong access control, IAM.
Identity access management, and
Identity access management.
also what? Like there is a, something you know, something you have, something you are. Remember, what do you call that?
Monitoring, encryption,
Multi-factor authentication. Okay,
multi-factor authentication.
that's okay. All right. So let's jump on to, so how does the architecture diagram that you showed shows the interaction between the Terraform, S3, EC2, and AI analytics? How does this whole thing really flows out? You can open the diagram in front of you and you can explain it to me then if you want to see it. This is on page number 12, right? So explain to me the interaction between Terraform, S3, EC2, and AI analytics.
Yeah, yeah, okay. If I detect if I predict any failure, it can inform us. It can inform us immediately through AWS. It can inform us immediately.
Going in
It
the
can
wrong
inform.
direction. What does Terraform does?
Terraform automate the entire disaster recovery environment.
That's the answer. What does S3 does?
S3 bucket is used to store data,
What does
like maybe
what does EC2 does? What does EC2 handles?
which runs server run our critical application.
Workloads, compute workloads. What does AI analytics does?
Uh, what does the analytics? It analyze it analyze logs and metrics.
Coming from where on AWS? Coming from where? That the AI is able to analyze.
Coming from CloudWatch.
CloudWatch. Good job, mashallah. Okay, good job. Remember, your age is 16. You're scoring perfectly well right now. Okay? Have confidence. You can do a lot, inshallah. Okay? One day, you can go into quantum computing. You can go into some of the best technologies out there, semiconductor chip design. You can go into any field you want to. There is no limitation. The only limitation is you yourself, right? Remember that. Describe, to me how IAM, you mentioned that, uh, identity access management across clouds is applied in the security model. How do you do that? They're on AWS and Azure. How do you implement that?
I implement identity and access management. How can I implement identity and access management on both cloud?
Yes.
I use security policies and I I use security policies and least privilege access to and give permission according to the need of person.
Good. Bismillah. Sorry. IAM policies in both AWS and Azure controls user and services access to resources, enforcing role-based access, least privilege access, while supporting the policies of GDPR, PSD2 compliance, all of those things. Good job. What specific AI technologies are used for predictive failure detection in AWS?
Random random forest.
I don't know.
No, so can you repeat this?
AI specific technologies which are native to cloud on AWS.
AWS SageMaker. AWS SageMaker.
Good. How does it work?
How does it work? It train model. AWS SageMaker train model based on historical data of our system, which are collected from AWS CloudWatch and
Okay. In the DR architecture, disaster recovery architecture diagram, which specific sequences ensure that GDPR compliance across Terraform automated deployments is achieved and how? That's a tough question. That's a tough question.
I don't understand it. Can you repeat this? Make it easy for
In
me.
your
Like,
in your presentation, there's a disaster recovery architecture diagram, right? Mentioned, right? How does the Terraform ensures that the security and compliance is met?
by
How?
using code policy, Terraform, Terraform automate the entire deployment with meet the regulatory compliance GDPR and PSP2 by using which are the part of GDPR by using policy as a code.
Okay. If you have to deconstruct, right? If you have to deconstruct the AI powered flow diagram, the one you showed, can you explain each conditional logic path and its implication during real time disasters? This is on page number 21. You mentioned this diagram, right? This is like a flow.
Flowchart.
If you have to deconstruct this flow chart, right, and go under the hood, like when you open the front fender of the car, you can see the engine, right? Right? डिग्गी खोलते हो ना आगे से, क्या होता है? इंजन नजर आता है ना? You can see the engine, right? So, can you deconstruct the AI powered flow diagram and explain each conditional logic path and its implication during real time disaster? I'm looking at that diagram right now. Essentially, explain to me the diagram. What does it starts, monitor system, real time? What does it means? Explain that to me in the most easiest way possible. Imagine I am the management guy. I don't know anything technical. Explain it to me.
First, we start with real-time monitoring. The system keep watching log and metrics from AWS and Azure using AWS CloudWatch and Azure Monitor. If it does not detect any issue, it simply continue monitoring. But if problem is detected like unusual traffic pattern, system lag, disk error, it automatically trigger failover, switching services between AWS and Azure without need any manual action. We can automate the failover using Azure site recovery, and we can also automate the failover using Terraform script. It can create us resources on Azure. Next, the system sync the latest backup and restore service, get everything running smoothly again. It means the latest, the recent backup of AWS applied to Azure to keep everything working correctly. And finally, once everything is back online, the process ends.
That's a good way. Like, so when you walk into the home, your parents can see if there's a problem in the way you are walking or talking or something like that. If they see a problem, what do? They give you a chappal, right? Have you ever got a chappal from your mother or father? No? Good son. Okay. But like this can happen, right? If that happens, then you know that the problem persists. Address the problem through chappal, right? And then if there is no problem, you let them go. So this is how the triggers are alert, right? So essentially, it's the same concept, but in a different way. Parents are way smarter than what the kids perceive them to be. How would you modify the current DR architecture to support federated identity management between AWS and Azure while still maintaining AI-driven predictive control? How would you do that?
With this, rephrase.
Sorry, what?
Can you rephrase it?
Okay. So in your DR architecture, right? If you have to implement half of the network is in AWS, half of the network is in Azure, right? You have to implement basically federated identity, which means like you manage the identity access management not through two different solutions, but through one solution, right? So if you implement federated identity management between AWS and Azure, how would you still ensure that the AI-driven predictive control is still working fine?
Yeah.
It's a tough question.
Okay. First of all, I look at the cost. And first of all, I look at the cost and
Hold on. We're going in the wrong direction. Okay. So what do we use on AWS? Like for example, how would you create the federated identity between both of them, Azure and AWS? How, what would we use?
I use data replication tool for update them from one place to another place.
Okay. It's okay. Sometimes every horse will have a stumble, right? Uh, they says kullu isan sofa yat athar, which means every horse will have a stumble. You had your first stumble right now. Okay, you know what stumble means? You're walking.
Stuck.
Oh, you're walking,
Stuck.
and all of a sudden you lose your foot.
Stuck.
That's what stumble means. चलते चलते इंसान थोड़ा सा हिल जाता है ना, टांग टेढ़ी हो जाए तो तुम्हारी थोड़ी सी टांग टेढ़ी हो गई. Okay. So how would RTO and RPO matrices change if predictive AI fails and fall back to manual failover? You know, will that model, create any latency in the AI? Okay, let me rephrase it. So, there's recovery time objective and recovery point objective. You know what those are?
Yes.
Okay. What is recovery time objective?
Recovery time will be how fast we can recover from
Yeah.
disaster.
And what is recovery point objective?
Uh, how much data loss is acceptable?
Allah. Okay. Recovery point objective is at what time, at what point you have to recover, right? So if the manual failback, the fallback, not fail, but fallback fails, fails. Uh, sorry, not the manual. Sorry, if the fallback mechanism fails, how would the AI perceive that it is working fine? Will that create any latency penalty in the AI predictive model? Okay,
Can you
okay, tell me. Let me rephrase it further. If AI fails, right, will the RTO increases or
also,
decreases?
if I fail, the RTO increase. Oh,
The AI,
decrease,
the AI fails.
AI fail.
AI is in the job of analyzing the logs and everything, but AI failed. AI can fail, and it will fail, right? And it's in some instances we have seen it has failed, right? So if it fails, what happens? Will the RTO increases?
RTO decrease.
Okay. So if AI fails, the RTO increases from near zero, instant failover, to several minutes or hours depending on detection, latency, and human intervention, speed. It can go to several hours. The RPO will worsen as the data sync may lag, right? So leading to a potential data loss. I'm looking at the diagram, right? So for example, if the RTO shifts from 30 seconds to 10 minutes, the RPO will go from 5 seconds to 5 minutes. This can result in an inconsistent state between the S3 and the blob X storage access cloud across the clouds, right? Was a very, very technical question, a tough one indeed. Okay. All right. So the last question we have, Propose to me a cost optimized AI driven DR strategy that minimizes cloud, egress, charges, and interfaces costs while ensuring sub-second RTO. Well, tell me just how would you cost optimize AI-driven DR strategies?
Okay, AI stops things which we don't need. AI use cheap resources to run application to run cloud resources. And we use on-demand scaling, pay as we go. We make sure we pay what we can do.
Repeat again.
Okay. AI use cheap resources. AI stop these resources which we don't need. And AI stop resources which we don't need. We use on-demand scaling, pay as we go.
So, what does compressed checkpointing means?
Compress checkpoint means
Checkpointing for data storage or data replication or data backup. What does checkpointing means?
checkpoint
Okay, what does data duplication means?
copying or if data duplication means copying of data,
Okay, what does object level tiering
object
mean?
level.
Object level tiering for S3 buckets on AWS. What does it mean? It's the same thing where if you have AWS or Azure or GCP or any of these things, it always exists. What does it mean?
Can we repeat this?
Let me go back a little bit, right? And give you. So how does the testing and this, I'm going to rephrase the whole question. How does the testing and sync process ensures data consistency across clouds? How can we do that?
Okay. Yeah.
Testing and sync process. How does testing and sync process ensures data consistency across the clouds?
Sure, data consistency and the cloud. We use real-time data replication tool like to connect S3 bucket to Azure block storage.
No, no.
To,
How does testing and sync process? Why do you
uh,
do testing of the data to ensure consistency? What do
to,
you?
to, to run simulate test
Yes, good.
to make sure when disaster recovery needed, which is when needed is it's working correctly.
Good. Okay, your exam is over. Let me check a few things. Okay, mashallah. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is your score. These are your scores. Would you like to know your scores? Okay. You scored 23 out of 25 in your presentation. The presentation was very good, mashallah. Okay, 92%. In your Q&A, you scored 21 out of 25, right? And you scored 84%. So altogether, your marks came out to be 88%. You were not able to break your uncle score of 92% overall, right? Right. In all honesty, his topic was very different. Your topic was very technical, right? Everyone gets a separate topic, but still you did very, very well. If I have to do apples to apples comparison, tell him I did a difficult topic and I scored 88%, right? Tell him that, okay? When you meet him, okay? This is very good, mashallah. May Allah give you more success. This is my recommendation for you. You are only 16 years of age. The questions I've asked you, if you go to any 16-year-old person and if you ask them the same questions, they won't be able to answer these questions. So you did very, very well, mashallah. You started back in April 2024 and you completed everything by May of 2025. You still have 6 months left, 5 months, and you will be getting your Al Razak program. Have you received your Al Razak program part one?
Yeah.
Have you started doing it?
No, I'm just focusing on my completing my course also.
Now go and focus on getting the labs done, right? If you get the labs done, and there will be more than 3,000 labs, right? In part one, there will be around 600,000 labs. In part two, some of them are very easy, and it builds up, right? It builds up slowly. You will see it will get tougher and tougher and tougher. So there are four kinds of labs: basic, intermediate, advanced, and challenge. There is another one coming up, right? In 6 months' time. They will push you. This is beyond challenge. This is the expert level, right? Because we will keep on tweaking with the system and keep on improving it, right? This is my recommendation for you. You have completed your AI ops at level 6, right? You have only done your metric exam, right?
Right.
You have performed tremendously well in doing all of these things. My recommendation to you is right now, as we speak, your uncle was different, right? Go and complete your Kubernetes exams and complete your Al Razak program. This is extremely important for you. If you complete your Kubernetes exams and your Al Razak program, right, start doing the BTEC. Because you're only 16, remember, you can't apply to go outside to study. You have to be minimum 18 before you can go out. You have the same problem as Musa Jamal has, right? Right? When he came, he was the youngest CCAD Kubernetes passed, student in the world, right? So this is my recommendation to you. Focus on getting your QB astronaut exams done. You will have everything on the portal. On a Lazak part one and part two, you will get everything, all the labs, MCQs, everything, and it will push you to the limit. Second thing is go and get your Al Razak part one and part two done. It may take you 6 to 9 months time to complete that, right? Because if you have more free time, go and invest more, right? Take care of yourself by doing exercise, right? Do some weight training, make yourself fit, strong. A healthy body has a healthy mind. This is very important, okay? Uh, so that's what you have to do. You still have 2 years before you can go outside. You can't, do you want to go outside and study like in the US or UK or Canada, right? Or any of these places? You can't go right now because you're so young. So you still have time. So my recommendation to you is to do this. Okay? Go and do your HND, Higher National Diploma. If you do that, that will help you significantly, right? Then you can apply for a master's program in 2 years' time. So by the time you're 18, you just turned 16. You've already done all of the things. Still have a lot of time. By the time you're 18, you will be able to complete your HND, Higher National Diploma in Digital Technologies or Computing, and then you will be able to go and do your master's. But before even doing that, if you complete Al Razak and everything, in 6 months' time, you will be sitting on a job, inshallah, working remotely from home, earning, going through all the times and everything, inshallah. This is my sincere recommendation for you. Okay? It's the same plan that my son is following. Okay? Difference is he's 12 and you're 16. Okay? So go and follow that. May Allah give you more success. May Allah give, and say my congratulations to your parents. Ask them to make du'as for me, especially this dua if they're listening. Allahumma inni as'aluka shahadatan fil masjid nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Tell them to say Ameen. These are the blessed days of Dhul Hajj. So ask them to make the special dua, inshallah. Okay.
Inshallah.
Do you have anything else for me? Would you like to say something?
Thank you.
Okay. If you complete HND, Higher National Diploma, right? And you complete all of those things, and if you want to study and keep on studying forward, pick up a field from here. I'm going to show you which field you can potentially pick up, right? So pick something from here. It's up to you what you want to pick. You can either pick AI and ML. This is already covered in your, this is the core integration framework, right? It's already there. You can pick up semiconductor and chip design if you want to go in there. Quantum computing, space technologies, again, it's the big thing. Cybersecurity is already covered in AI Ops. AI Ops covers AI, cybersecurity, and big data and cloud, which is applicable in all industries. You see, industry, all. Semiconductor chip design is only applicable in technology and defense sector, right? Quantum computing, finance, defense, pharmaceutical. Space technology, aerospace, and defense. You see, every technology has a specific industry. AI ops covers all these core three and like three these three core technologies covers every single thing on the face of the planet. So there's nothing that is not there, right? So pick something up. If you ask me, what do you recommend me to pick up? I would say quantum computing. Okay? If you
Okay.
pick this up, no one can stop you. I'm telling you. At this age, mashallah, you've done so well. And you can do the specialization in this because we will be offering that, separately. You can ask for that. Okay. This is through Al Nafi Cloud. So it's a 5 to 600 hours of course, videos, labs and labs and labs and labs, and it will make you into a quantum computer engineer. This is the next frontier. Okay. Since you are young, you have a lot of time, you can invest that time, inshallah. If you do that, you will go, and after 2 years, you can go and for a master's degree in US on a full scholarship. I can tell you right now. Write it down for me. Muhammad Faisal on the day of May 29th told me if I become, write it down, if I become QB astronaut and I complete Al Razak part 1 and part 2, right? And I do quantum computing specialization offered by, uh, Nafi, right? And I complete my HND in digital technologies. All of this in 2 years' time. There are no exams. It's all hands-on practice. HND doesn't have any exams. It's all assignments. Quantum computing is all hands-on labs and videos as well, right? So there's a lot of videos you have to watch. It's all in English. We're not making them in Urdu. It's all in English, right? Uh, and you go through all of them. You will be going for a master's degree. You can even go to, Harvard or MIT or Stanford or Cambridge or Oxford. You can apply. They will sponsor you. Okay? This is my recommendation for you. Write it down. You scored very well, mashallah. Okay? This is my recommendation for you. May Allah give you more reward. May Allah give you guidance. Uh, all of us to the straight path of Islam, of Quran and Sunnah. And, say my salam to your parents. And if you need anything, always pick up the phone and call me. I'm more than happy to, inshallah, talk to you. You can have my number if you want. This is my number, right? Uh, the team will reach out to you for certain things. If you are interested, you can work in the team and learn more things as well, inshallah. Okay. This is my number. It's going directly to you. Write it down, inshallah. Okay. All right. Jazakallah khair, everyone. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.